Hello, today we are working on polygons and specifically angles within polygons. So this is your assignment. Okay, the first thing you want to do is go ahead and click on this. What we're doing today is we're learning how to get angles again for polygons. So let's go to this website right here. Please open this one right here, click on that. And when you do, we've seen this website already a few times. So again, remember, you can translate it if you want down here. Okay, but there's a few things that we're going to do today. We've learned about all these different things. Is something a polygon or not? Is it regular, irregular? Is it concave, convex? You're going to review some of those. But what we're going to do today is we're going to be focusing on angles of polygons. So here's all your different kinds of polygons, the shape that you have, how many sides they have. See, so triangle 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, and how much an interior angle is. That's just only one angle, okay? So when we get this shape here, which we know is a triangle, it says the interior angle, it says the interior, which is the inside. Remember, interior is inside. That means this angle here, angle here, and here is 60. But that's not all of them. That's just only one. So then that's 60, that's 60. So all of them are 60. If they're regular, they're going to be all the same. Remember, if they're regular, that means all angles are the same, okay? Here, when it's 90, there's 4 sides, right? So 90, 90, 90, 90. Altogether, total is 360, but each one of these is 90, okay? So what you can do from this website here is you can see all the interior angles for all the different figures. So that makes our job really easy today. And so it's a matter of just kind of reading that real quickly. Okay, so let's go back to the assignment and open that up. That is right here. Make sure you download it so you can take notes in Kami, right? And what kind of questions do we have? One moment. Okay, so the first question we have is find the interior angle sum. Now this is the important part, okay? Sum is not just one angle, it is all angles together, right? Okay. The sum is we add them all up. So that's a different thing than we were doing just a moment ago. So I got this from the website, and I'll show you where I got it. Basically, this table right here is showing you different figures, the name, the number of sides, the shape, the interior angle. And again, this is just one angle. Remember, a triangle has 360s or 180 degrees total. Oops, one moment. And a square has 4 sides. Each angle is 90, or 4 angles, I should say. So together, the total is 360. So let's go ahead and look at, there's something I want you to notice about it. If you go to the very bottom of this big table right here, you'll see this formula right here that shows you basically 2 things that you can get. The first part tells you the total degrees of any figure based upon having n sides, right? So the other part is they divide it by the number of sides to get each individual interior angle. So let me show you an example. Let me get a few. Where'd it go? There we go. So for example, this is what you just saw right here. This is kind of the formula. And then these are 3 examples. So the first part is this one right here, right? It's this part right here is the sum. This is the sum of all. Sum is the total. Okay, so we already know that a triangle has 180 degrees total, right? We also know that the number of sides is 3. So basically 3 is equal to n. So if we take this formula over here, we'd go 3 minus 2, right? I'm putting the 3 right there. And then times 180. And if we do that, this would be 1. 1 times 180 equals 180 degrees, right? But again, that's the sum of all the angles together. So this part, the last part, is what we do is we take this and we divide this by the number of sides. Remember, the number of sides is equal to 3. So when we divide this by 3, then this ends up becoming 60 degrees for each individual angle right here, right? That's 60. So Let's try it for the one that's got 5 sides. How about that? If you want to try it yourself, you can try it. But basically, if I was going to use this formula, first I'd get the total. So the total is what? Or all of them. Whoops, sorry. So I'd go 5, right? 5 minus 2 parenthesis times 180. And that would be 3 times 180. And you can do that on your calculator. So that would be 540 degrees total, okay? But that's the total. That would be all the angles. So now, so that means that would be 540, right, for all. But if we want to get each individual, the interior angle, how do we get that? We see here it's 108. How would we get that? Well, we'd go this divided by 5, and that's equal to 108 degrees. So that's how they got this angle. Because remember, this is just one interior angle, but all sum is 540, okay? So this is the formula we're going to use. Now, if you go to the assignment, see if I can find the assignment. Okay, so the first thing we get is they're asking us for the sum of each polygon, not the interior angles, but we could find it if we needed to. Well, what did we do? Remember, it's going to be n minus 2 times 180, right? So what do we have? We have how many sides? So we're going to count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we're going to go 12 minus 2 times 180. That would be 10 times 180. That's going to be 1800, okay? So there you go. So that's how you do it. Okay, so why don't you pause the video and you try this one right here. Actually, I think we already did it, didn't we? If you remember earlier in the video. But if you want to try it, go ahead. Again, it would be 5 minus 2. Okay, the 5 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times 180. And that would be 540. Okay, so that's how we do questions 1 and 2. Now what we're going to do is we're going to find the measure of one interior angle in each regular polygon, okay? So how do we do it? Well, there's 2 ways to do it. We can either think about what we know. This has 1, 2, 3, 4. So we go like this, and we say, what has 4? So that would be this one, 90 degrees, okay? That's too easy, sorry, but that's the way it is. Okay, that's 90. But we also have this one that's got 1. So you can try this one if you want. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm going to show you 2 ways to get it. I'm going to go 9 minus 2, I can use the formula above, times 180, divided by how many sides? 9 sides. That would be 7 times 180, divided by 9. If you did that, you would get 140 is what you should get. Let's see if it's on the chart. That's got 9 sides. 9, okay, so it's 940. So you can use this chart, but you won't have this chart on the test, okay? On the test, unless you take notes for all the different ones, you won't have that if you take a quiz or a test, okay? So that's how you find out the individual one interior angle. Again, just one interior angle, okay? So the next step is exterior angle. That's the outside angle in each regular polygon. Well, what do you do to get that? Well, what you have to do is you have to take any side at a vertex, right? And you have to extend it out like that. And it's basically asking, what is this? Okay? So what is that? Well, we already know that this is a 1, 2, 3, 4-sided figure. So we know this is going to be 90 degrees. So this is when it's important to understand what these two are together. Remember, we have 90 plus x equals 180 degrees. So x equals 90 after I subtract 90 from both sides, right? So that would be this one. If you want to try this one, go ahead and pause the video. Okay? All right, so again, whenever we have this, we're going to go like this. So this is what we're looking for, right? X, what does that equal to? Well, what do we know the interior angle is over here? Well, we could go, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 minus 2 times 180 equals 540. But we have to divide by 5 sides, so we get 108. So this one is 108, right? And remember, these two together, 108 plus x equals 180. So x equals, what is that, 72. Okay, so that's how you do that kind of a question. And so now the next several questions are going to be review or practice questions. So go ahead and do those, enter them in Canvas. And then in the last page, I've got some review questions from the day before. What do we call this polygon, etc. Okay, so make sure when you finish, you put your answers into Canvas to get your A for the day.